All right, let's dive into one of the most powerful productivity hacks I've ever come across. And the best part, it's incredibly simple. You don't need any fancy apps or complicated systems. All you need are two jars and, you guessed it, a bunch of paper clips. Which brings us to the big question, right? How on earth does a simple little office supply, a paperclip, turn a complete rookie into a millionaire? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, but trust me, the story behind this is absolutely brilliant. Okay, so picture this. The year is 1993. Our story is about a 23-year-old guy named Trent Dursmid. He's just starting out as a stockbroker in a quiet Canadian suburb, way outside of the big city buzz. Honestly, nobody was expecting much from him at all. So every single morning, Trent walks in and does the exact same thing. He puts two jars on his desk. One of them is totally empty. The other one? It's filled with exactly 120 paper clips. And this wasn't just some quirky desk decoration, nope. This was his secret weapon. The ritual itself was dead simple. He'd pick up the phone and make one sales call. As soon as he hung up, he'd reach over, grab one paper clip from the full jar, and drop it into the empty one. That's it. And he would just keep doing that over and over until every last one of those 120 clips was sitting in that second jar. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, that's a lot of phone calls, but what did it really do? Well, this is where the story gets really, really interesting, because that simple, almost mindless action led to some jaw-dropping results. Get this. In just a year and a half, this rookie stockbroker brought $5 million of new business into his firm. Let that sink in for a second. A 23-year-old in a small town, just grinding it out, one paperclip at a time. Incredible. So the firm was happy, but what about Trent? Well, by the time he was just 24 years old, he was pulling in an annual salary of $75,000. Now remember, this was back in the early 90s. That was a huge deal for someone just starting their career. And just to give you a little perspective, that $75,000 salary back then, today, that would be like earning around $125,000 a year. So yeah, he wasn't just doing okay for himself. He was absolutely crushing it at a super young age. And here's the thing, it wasn't just a fluke. That discipline he built, that simple little habit, became the bedrock of his whole career. It didn't take long before other companies started to notice, and he was quickly snapped up for a six-figure job. So what is going on here? Why is this so ridiculously effective? Well, it's not magic. It's all about tapping into a really powerful part of our psychology, the incredible motivation we get from seeing ourselves make progress. At its core, the paperclip strategy is all about making your effort tangible. It's about turning your work into something you can literally see and touch. It gives you this clear, undeniable proof that you're getting things done, and that feeling, well, it makes you want to do it again. The psychology is actually pretty straightforward. See, every time Trent moved a paperclip, his brain got a tiny little hit of satisfaction, a mini win. It basically gamified the whole process. Think about it. It's hard to stay motivated when your big goal is months away, right? But this strategy gives you dozens of tiny, visible victories every single day. That reinforces the habit and just makes you want to keep going. And you can hear it right in his own words. He said the goal wasn't to just make some calls. The real goal was to move all the paper clips. That visual target created a very clear finish line that he felt driven to cross day in and day out. Okay, so this is great for Trent, but how do we actually use this? The real beauty of this whole idea is that it has nothing to do with sales calls or even paper clips. It's a universal principle you can apply to pretty much any goal. You just have to find your paper clips. I mean, look at these examples. A writer who used hairpins to track every page she wrote. Someone else using marbles to count their sets of push-ups at the gym. The tool itself doesn't matter one bit. What matters is having that physical, visual proof of your progress. So what's your action and what's your counter? Once you start looking for it, you'll realize you see this principle everywhere. That punch card at your favorite coffee shop, the progress bar on a software download, even just the page numbers in a book. They all do the same thing. They show you how far you've come, and they give you that little nudge to keep going and get to the end. So what this all really boils down to is a simple takeaway. While jars and marbles are fantastic, probably the easiest way to apply this principle in our world today is with a simple habit tracker.
It doesn't matter if it's an app on your phone or just putting an X on a calendar, the key is making your progress visible.
So I'll just leave you with this. What is that one habit, that one thing that you know if you did it consistently would change everything for you? And more importantly, what are your paper clips going to be? What visual system are you going to set up to start tracking it today?